Okay, I'm going to say all the official bits and pieces, because I don't want it to be too stuffy. I'd like to welcome everyone. Thanks for coming. It's a great turnout. I'd like to thank my wife Anne and Chris for organising everything, especially Anne as far as phoning everybody up, getting people to come, etc, etc. It really is nice to see a few old faces, especially you, Cookie. sorry.
Here it comes.
Yeah, it's going to get even more, especially when you take that jacket off.
No.
I've got to give a short resume of my career. Most of you probably know it. There's enough photographs around to see. It's a bit embarrassing, really, isn't it? I've some grief. Started off as a kid at Liverpool between the age of 14 to 17. Wasn't quite good enough, so they let me go off to Doncaster where I signed pro. Played there for 5 years. Came down. Went off to Notts Forest for 3 months with Cloughie for a little while, which is interesting, to say the least. Came down to Colchester, where we were here 7 years. I think it was 7 years as a player. Went off to Brentford for a couple of years. Enjoyed it in London. Went from there to Aldershot, which I thought would be maybe a year or two, but actually played for another 6 years. I was 47 by then. 37. And then went into management. Fell into it really. At Aldershot when they went out of the league. Came back to Colchester obviously. Went up to Doncaster, Stevenage for a little short stop on the way up there, about 6 weeks. And then went to Southend, and that was very successful indeed. It's the biggest chapter in the book, I can assure you. How it all started. Okay, I got a letter about 18 months ago from young Chris. He won't mind me saying that because he is only young compared to me. And I threw it in the bin. And I'm not being disrespectful. It got one of them in the bin because I thought, what's that about? Hence, Anne gets it out of the bin. Straightens it all out, gets the iron out, and has a read of it. And we thought, well, I said, who would want to read a book about me? I don't really, I wasn't being naive as such. I just thought, well, that's not going to happen. We met Chris, had a good laugh, and then a bit of arm twisting, and I decided to give it a go. I should say, we decided to give it a go, because without Anne's pushing and cajoling, I would never have attempted it. I'm being honest. I can't even type. That's a problem. So it was all written longhand, and then Anne typed it all up on the computer, rejigged it, did all the bits and pieces, and there was no ghostwriting. And we're quite proud of that, because I've read or looked at a few autobiographies from top players, and for me, after 4 lines, I can see Steven Gerrard has definitely not written it. Hello. And Jamie Carragher, a plethora of chances at the far post. Jamie, what is a plethora? No disrespect, I mean, they're great players, but someone else wrote the book. We did not want that. It's all been written by us. And if it's rubbish, it's our rubbish. So I'd like to think, if you do read it, that you'd be having a chat with me. And that's the way it was. There's no swearing in it. No swearing at all. There's the odd asterisks. And Anne would be typing it upstairs on the computer, I'm downstairs. And I said, there's no swearing in this book. She says, why is that? And I said, because it's a lot of bollocks! Excuse me, sorry, no person used it. So that's how it all started. Why did we write it? It wasn't an ego thing. We started it and we thought it would be really good for the kids and grandkids to come. Great grandkids maybe. So you see these programs about family trees, etc. We thought that would be a good example for the family to have a look at. And that's the truth. It wasn't a commercial thing or anything like that. It wasn't an ego thing. It was just done the best we could to see, for the family to see. Because we've lived away from our family. I left home at 17. I haven't been back since. And we got married and was 20. Actually, we were 14. Yeah. He was 14 when we got married. And we haven't been back home since. So we've been away from our family a lot. And actually today, we sent through the post to my dad. He's 90 this year. My mum's 85. And we sent him one of the books. And on the phone, he was absolutely delighted with it. Because, at 90 years of age, who knows, going in the next 6 months. So I'm really pleased that he's alive, if you like, and my mum, to be able to read that as well. And it's not soppy, that's just the way I feel. How he wrote it, I've already said that. We found it very liberating. Also, I feel a bit like a stripper. I know, I don't say she's. I feel a bit like, exposed. No, seriously, you feel really exposed because we've proofread it 4 times. we still haven't finished the last long, Chris. We've got to proofread it again. And it is literally very exposing. Everything's in there. When I first started it, I thought, for the first week, I wrote a bit, I thought, I'm not even going to write 200 pages. I can't see what I'm going to write about, you know. But once I got going and got chivied on a bit, we were really slow the first few months, weren't we, Chris? And all of a sudden we got a deadline off Chris, all panic. And then we did 4 hours a day for 6 months, I think it was. Really had to do it, you know, writing. I didn't realise, I've got a lot of respect for people who do books, who write it themselves, of course, because there's a lot of hard work in it. And it was, if you like, liberating as far as some things in it are really happy. And sometimes Anna would be typing upstairs and I'd hear her laughing. How sad were we? We'd already read it twice. On our own jokes. That is sad, because we think it's funny. Unfortunately, it's Scouse humour in it, so a lot of you probably won't laugh. It doesn't matter. We're happy with it. You only have to look at some photographs to see that we're happy with it. And that was about it, really. The content, I think, it goes from basically from school, from about 8 years of age, when I was born in Liverpool, goes through my playing career, up through as a player, etc., etc., right through playing, into coaching and into managing. And it's quite ironic. If you look at the front of the book, that's a serious face on, isn't it? That's the manager's face, that's the player's face. And by the way, that was 18 months ago. Same? Yeah. That's what writing a book does to you. Actually, that was 25 years ago. There you go. About right time, was it? 25 years. The finished product itself, I've got to say, Chris, I think it's fantastic. Overall, the presentation of it, the way it's set out, we are really impressed with it. And we're really pleased, aren't we? You know, we are proud of it. Because all these lovely people coming tonight, there's nothing worse than me thinking, not happy with that, as they all turn up. But I think that's excellent. The whole thing, we couldn't ask for any better. So thanks for that. And that's about it. I'd just like to mention one person that's here tonight. Where is he? He knows who I'm talking about. Where is he? Nelly. Neil. I'm not embarrassed, he's not going to stand up. We went to if you read the book, I went to a grammar school. We went to grammar school together. And the last time I saw Neil was 36 years ago. And he emailed me last week, or in fact he's been chasing me all over the place. He's that sort of bloke.
You owe me money.
Yeah, but it's a threatening bit, and there's most people in this room who don't know what a threatening bit is. There's a few threatening bit heads in here, and I'd like to know who that is. Yeah, but Neil's come all the way down from Buckinghamshire, correct? Just to be here tonight, which is fantastic. And we're going to get together at later days, hopefully next week or week after, whatever. It's really nice to see you. Thanks for coming down. But he said he'd read the book, and things from the grammar school sparked a few things in his mind. And you know, you're looking back on your school days, and you always talk to the kids, oh, it was crap at school. And the college boys we teach at the minute, we're doing the coaching at the Colne College. You know, it's all a big drag for them. But thinking back, it is some of the happiest days of your life. You know, and we had a great time in that grammar school. And we need to catch up on a few things, because you were out of order. Especially that bloke after school that you didn't like the colour of his socks, do you remember? I can't go any further with that one. Okay, well that's about it for me really.
Thank you, Steve.
We'll take it from there.
You are obviously